Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I created this 3D tree design using one of the patterns that's in the ScanNCut machine. So I'm just going to close that down. Here's the pattern book for the Brother ScanNCut machine. Now, as far as I'm aware, every machine, so the red, the blue and the purple one in the UK and Europe, all has this same pattern. So to find it on your machine, you need to go to the home page, click pattern, then you choose, I'll just make this bigger, then you choose this second icon here that's a flower and a present. When you click on that, it will bring you to this window, or another window I should say, with more icons on, and the icon that you're looking for is this present, the same as here with the Halloween face, and from memory it's the bottom left hand corner of the screen. When you click into this section you'll see all the different holiday designs, and it's this tree here. So you would select the tree on your machine from within this section, and then you say OK. Think you say OK again, and then it's in two sections. It's the tree and the stump. Just choose the tree. We don't need the stump for what I'm going to show you. Choose the tree. I think it comes in at just under 4 inches high, so leave it as it is. Click set, and then it will bring you to your mat, your virtual mat on your ScanNCut machine, and the tree will be there. And then there are two buttons in the top right hand corner. One says add and one says save. So what you need to do at this point, when you've got it on your mat on your machine, is put a USB stick into your ScanNCut machine, click the save icon and navigate to your USB stick. Basically when you click save, it will give you an option, I think, to either save it to the machine or to the USB. Well, it's already in the machine, so you need to save it to the USB stick. You do that, it will tell you that it's saved it, it will give you a file number. And I'm just going to close this down. Then you need to come to ScanNCut Canvas, go to create new project. That's where we are at the moment. I've saved mine now. I've dragged it off my USB stick and I've put it on my desktop. So I'm going to come over here to the SVG icon and I'm going to select that. I'm going to click on choose file. You would somewhat look down here on your computer or your Mac for your USB stick. I'm going straight to my desktop and there's my design, and I'm going to say OK. Says that's the one I want there, and I'm going to say OK. Now you can ignore all this because obviously I've been playing around with this, so I'm going to get rid of all these for now. I'm going to break this apart. Okay, this is what you will have at this stage. Now, what I'm also going to suggest you do is you can make this any size you want. It's entirely up to you. And again, you can make it in double. I would suggest you make this in card, not paper. So either a double-sided card would work best, because when you actually slot the design together, you'll see a pattern on both sides. I initially cut my test design out on graphics mirror board, 12 by 12 mirror board, and it was gold on the front and it's white on the back. And the measurements that I used, that I'm going to show you in a minute, actually fitted perfectly. But when I slotted it all together, I could see the white from the back of the mirror board. So I decided to cut the design again, and I mirrored the design the second time I cut it, and then I stuck the two lots together, and it's a tight fit. So you're going to need to play around with the size of the slot, but I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So that's the design that we're going to use in a minute. But what I would suggest you do is go to your basic shapes, get a square, just come to the properties box, make sure maintain aspect ratio is ticked, and just make this 3.0 and select enter on your keyboard. and that will make you a 3-inch square. I'm going to right click and hit duplicate, and then I'm going to right click and hit duplicate and right click and hit duplicate. So I've got 4 squares. I'm going to put these 2 down here for now. Okay, then I'm just going to choose one of these again, right click and duplicate, and then we're going to make our slots now that slots the design together, but these squares are going to be like a test template for you. So I'm going to drag this, I'm going to make this square a bit bigger, and in fact no, I'm not going to undo. I'm going to drag this in, and you can see down here the size of the width is shrinking, and I'm going to make it so it's 0.02, and if I can't do that exactly, I'll come to the properties box, come over here and type 0.02 and enter. Alright, and it's got a default setting by the look of it of 0.08, so we'll have to go back. Well, we'll do it 0.03, that'll be fine. Now, this square's 3 inches wide and 3 inches high, so we're going to select this, and we want to leave the width as it is, so we're going to untick maintain aspect ratio, and we're going to make this 1.5 inches high and click return or enter on the keyboard, and that's half the width, the height of this. This is 3, so we've made this 1.5, yeah, by its 0.03. While it's selected, we're going to right click and hit duplicate, and then we're going to just by eye separate them. Drag an imaginary box around these 2 only, edit, align, bottom, while they're both selected, group. Then we're going to right click again and duplicate. So we've got 2 lots now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this one on the first box, drag an imaginary box around just those 2, go edit, align, center, and edit, align, bottom. Select both of these again, right click and group. Then this time we're going to choose these 2. We're going to go edit, align, center, and edit, align, top. And again, we're just going to select these 2, right click and group. So that's one template. Then we're going to get a box again and drag this in and make this one, try and make this one 0.05 with 6. Then we'll come to the properties box. Make sure maintain aspect ratio is unticked, and we'll delete that and we'll type in 1.5. While it's selected, right click and hit duplicate. Drag the duplicate apart, select them both, edit, align, bottom. While they're both selected, right click and group. Then we're going to do the same. We're going to put that one, in fact we're going to duplicate that one. Right click and duplicate. I'm going to drag those together, select both of those, edit, align, center and bottom. While they're both selected, right click and group. And then select these 2, edit, align, center and top, and while they're both selected, group. And then what you need to do, forget that this is here for now, I really didn't need this at this moment, but I just wanted to bring the design in. So what you would do is do these squares first, and then come up here give them a name, call them something like Sliceform template, save them here, and then download these onto a USB stick and cut these in some card, the same type of card that you're actually going to cut your design in, and see which size slot works best for the card you're using. So I hope that makes sense. So these were 0.03 and these were 0.05, I think, weren't they? So you just remember which one you've used and keep that as a template. And then it saves wasting your card when you come to cut your design like this. So this would be your template. Just load up some card onto your mat, cut them out, slot them together. So that one slots to that one slots to that one, and see how they fit for that type of card. Obviously, if they're still too tight, you know that you've got to come back and alter the size of your slots for the card that you're using, because obviously I don't know what type of card you're going to use, and card comes in all different thicknesses. So you're going to have to kind of test this little bit out. So that's how to make a template for saving you, hopefully, a bit of time. So I'm going to get rid of those. Now we're going to come to our tree. So I'm going to duplicate it. So right click and duplicate and put it there. Now we're going to do the same thing. So in fact, no, sorry, I'm just going to get rid of that. Come to the properties box and then keep maintain aspect ratio selected and make the height here 5 inches for now. That's the size I did mine, and obviously I got the 4 cuts from one piece of card. So 5 inches, maintain aspect ratio, it'll end up at 4.96 wide. So that's the first one. Come over here, get a square. Now we know this is 5 inches high, so this square's got to be 2.5 inches high, and I'm going to make mine 0.03 or thereabouts. So if I untick aspect ratio, make this 2.5 in height, and then come over here and type 0.05, and it probably won't let me do it because I think we've just discovered that 0.08 is the default minimum. But we'll click enter on the keyboard and see what happens. Yes, it has. So I'll try and drag this in and make this a bit smaller. There you go, 0.03. So this here is one of my slots. It's 2.5 inches high and 0.03 wide. And it's 2.5 inches high because this tree is 5 inches high. So your slots have got to be half the height of your design. Okay, but if you use this tree for now, you should hopefully be able to follow this tutorial along. While this is selected, right click and hit duplicate, select both of those, edit, align, center, undo, edit, align, bottom, and then I'm just going to click on one and make them a little bit, using the arrow on my keyboard, just make them a little bit wider apart. And I'm doing this bit by eye based on this width of this design here. Okay, so select both of those, right click and group. And then I'm going to, while they're selected, hold my shift key down and select my tree, edit, align, center. And if I click away, you'll see what's happened. And then edit, align, bottom. Okay. And it's, the reason it's on here is because it's taking its, if I zoom in, it's lining up the slots, the bottom edge of the slots with this here, this bottom edge of the design. I'm going to select that, right click and duplicate. I've got everything now. I'm not doing very good today, am I? Select this, right click, duplicate. Bring that over there. Right, so I'll bring these back, select both of these, edit, align, center and bottom. Okay, select them both, right click and group. Now these two, select them both, edit, align, center and this time top. While they're both selected, right click and hit group. Okay, so I've got that one and that one. And again, this looks a little bit odd because it's lining up with the top edge here of the design. If you were using something that was more symmetrical, your slots would probably sit on your baseline and on your top line of your design. I'm going to select this, right click and hit duplicate, bring that one down there. Select this one, right click and hit duplicate and bring that one down here. And then I'm just going to make sure that they're positioned on my card so that they will all cut out of a piece of 12 by 12 card. Then basically all as you need to do is give your design a name, save it here and download it. Now if you're using double-sided card, this is all you need to cut, 4 shapes, and you would take this bottom one and slot it into here and take the top one and slot it into here, and it all slots together. If you're using single-sided card, what you need to do is cut this as it is and then bring the design back up in your ScanNCut machine and flip each one of these horizontally and cut it again. And that way, when you put 2 together, they line up perfectly back to back because you've mirrored them on your machine. So that's how I did the design, and that's in its simplest form. And as I say, as far as I'm aware, all 3 machines have all got this tree design by default in Canvas. So you should all be able to follow this and cut this design. If you go onto somewhere like Google Images or Pinterest and type in Sliceform designs, you'll see some of the amazing things that some people do with these this type of work on the internet, and they're absolutely brilliant. As I say, this is just a simple way of doing a 3D decoration using what we've already got in the ScanNCut machine. So I hope you found that helpful. Please like, share and subscribe if you want to see any more of my videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.